The case of the missing 537 million rand really had South Africa buzzing, and the evidence was only pointing to one employee. Let's call her Gambelina. Over the period of 13 years, Gambelina stole a whopping 537 million rand from her employer, and how no one seemed to notice for so long really seems to amaze me. If you break it down to the smallest minute value, this lady was stealing 1 rand every second for 13 years. How did she do it, you might ask? Gambelina was an accountant for Medtronic, and within 6 months of working there, Gambelina started growing long fingers. Gambelina set herself up as a beneficiary to benefit from tax rebates paid to Medtronic by SARS. The tax rebates would then be transferred into her personal bank accounts instead of the company's bank accounts. Now, this is a lot of money, and I'm very certain this lady must have done something to hide it. So, how did she hide it? To hide this money and give reason for their lavish spending habits, this lady spent this money on gambling. So now when people see the big purchases, their eyebrows won't be raised as much as they know the source of where these funds are coming from, or so they thought. In 5 years, it is recorded that Gambelina spent over 67 million rand at one casino, Empress Palace. It is also reported that Gambelina loved to travel, and she allegedly also spent 30 million rand on international trips. It is recorded that she allegedly visited Dubai 11 times, and she would visit stores like Louis Vuitton, where she would splash money like it's nobody's business. Back home in Cinderella, South Africa, Gambelina lived a very lavish lifestyle. She lived in a lavish mansion, and the cars she bought includes, but is not limited to, 3 Range Rover SUVs, a yellow Mustang, a yellow Ferrari, a Porsche, and several motorbikes. It is also recorded that Gambelina's jewelry collection is worth 12 million rand. Gambelina was living large, and everything was just going great until the company's new accountant picked up on irregularities years after Gambelina resigned, and this information was handed over to the Hawks. The Hawks then took this information, filed for a search and seizure warrant. It was granted, and they then swooped in on her, removed her 11 luxury vehicles, several motorbikes, 7 immovable properties, appliances, furniture, and the jewelry that was worth 12 million rand. She pled guilty to all of the charges brought against her, and this is how Gambelina exchanged 13 short years of freedom and lavish spending for 50 years of imprisonment. Maybe that is something she should have thought about before committing all these crimes.